I'd like to bring the meeting to order. This is the Historic District Commission. The date is July 8th, 2021. This meeting was published. It was noticed in the Fairfield Citizen Friday, June 25th. And our voting alternates tonight are Bohan, Clark, Stack. And I'd like to take attendance. I'll go around. Rosina Negron.
Rosina Negron, Commissioner.
Thank you. Art Gravanis.
Art Gravanis, Commissioner, is here.
Thank you. Darren Raymond Locke.
Here.
Thank you. George Clark.
Here.
Jim Bohan.
Daisy Bohan, alternate commissioner, here.
Thank you. Alyssa Stack.
I am here.
Thank you. And absent tonight is Chris Shea. And I am Adam Kleiber, Commissioner. So first item on the agenda is Pierre and Aude Ferragu, 418 Harbor Road in Southport, for property located at 418 Harbor Road in Southport, for a new pool fencing with evergreen screening and gate, and B, generator with evergreen screening, C, pool equipment with evergreen screening.
Adam, can you hear me? This is Jack Franzen here.
Yes, hi Jack, thank you.
Great. Good evening. I'm Jack Franzen. I'm representing the Ferragus for this application. Property is, as you probably know, it's the Zalman Wakeman House. It's an amazing, Second Empire French style house. It's located at 418 Harbor Road at the crest of the hill, and it's on the west side of the street across from the harbor. The lot is narrow and deep. I'm going to share my screen so you can see the survey. And can you see the survey here?
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
So here's Harbor Road where my cursor is. The lot is narrow and deep, and it's approximately 330 feet. About 190 feet back along this line, there's a jog, because my understanding is that this property was attached to the property I'm discussing, and it was subdivided. And this was sort of the carriage house or staff quarters. And there's a barn here where this jog occurs. After the jog, there's another 140 feet that runs back all the way, so that by the time you get to this line here, you're at 330 feet back from Harbor Road, plus or minus. It's in this rear pocket it's in this rear pocket here where the pool has been built. And the pool you can't see from a public way because of the topography. And due to confusion at Town Hall, the owners were issued a permit, but without consideration that the fence and the equipment would be visible from a public way. Because if you stand in the driveway here, you can look up and you'll be able to see whatever's happening in here. The Ferragus called me after I brought it to their attention, and they sent me the information that you're going to see tonight. I'm here to discuss the fencing scheme and the pool mechanicals, and they also want to put in a generator. Portions of the pool now already have an enclosure of sorts. There's a stone wall here. There's actually a cyclone fence here, and over here there's a wooden board fence. And the proposal is to add a deer fence in the sections that aren't currently enclosed. So the deer fence would go across the back and across the, I guess you'd say it, sort of the southwest corner here, or the southwest corner until it hits the board fence. On the face that you would see, they're proposing to do a metal fence with a gate, double gate, and to shrub in that fence on both sides. The pool equipment would go in the lower right-hand corner of the pool enclosure, and that's where it's been built. And they would actually screen all four sides of that because they don't want the public to see it. They also don't want to see it from the pool enclosure. And the third part of the application is they want to put a generator here, which is down near the driveway. And that also would be shrubbed in with, evergreens on all four sides. The generator is a Kohler. It's 20 kW. It's enclosed in a metal housing, which is, acoustically designed to be quiet as possible. The dimensions of it are 47 inches long, 26 and 2/10 inches wide, and 32.2 inches high. And that was a really close lightning strike that I hope you didn't hear that. But it shows air conditioning units on the property. Those have been removed because the Farragoos have installed geothermal HVAC, so there aren't any air conditioners, and there's no screening needed for air conditioners. And right now you can see the house, pretty much, the way it should be seen. I've got some cuts to show you. So here's a cut on the deer fence, which is a black mesh. It's got iron stanchions. And here's a cut on the fence that will go across the front. And the gate will be the same construction of these, vertical stanchions and then narrower pickets and a top and bottom rail. And then here's the cut on the generator showing what that looks like. And both the fence and the generator, as I said before, will be enclosed with shrubs. So at this point, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Jack. Rosina?
No questions. Thank you.
Art?
None for me, Adam.
Thank you. Darren?
None for me.
And George?
No questions for me, Jack. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Jim? Jim?
Yes, you mentioned visibility from Harbor Road. Any visibility from Rosehill Road up the back?
Jim, I couldn't hear you because where I am, the
Yeah,
thunder and lightning is so loud.
any visibility from Rosehill Road?
Could you
Through the
do
back
that
of the
one more
property.
time?
You mentioned no visibility from Harbor Road, but what about from Rosehill Road?
I don't believe it's visible from any other place other than Harbor Road.
Okay,
I
thank
actually
you.
walked up there today, and there's a barn on one side, there's another outbuilding on the other side, and then it's a big distance to see any of the other byways in Southport.
Okay, thank you very much. No other questions.
Thank you.
Alyssa?
I don't have any questions. Thanks.
Okay, Jack, I don't have any questions either. I did not receive any letters in favor of this application. I did not receive any letters opposed to this application, so the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Okay, and thanks. The Farragoos apologize for the confusion, but I hope we'll get it sorted out for them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Jack. Next item on the agenda is Kinder Properties LLC, 656 Harbor Road in Southport, for property located at 656 Harbor Road in Southport for a new sign. We have someone here representing Kinder Properties.
Unmute, Bill.
Excuse me? Okay, we'll move on to the next item then. Bonnie Page, 72 Rosehill Road in Southport for property located at 72 Rosehill Road in Southport. For A, changes to previously approved doors, and B, changes to previously approved fences. Someone here representing 72 Rosehill.
Hello, my name is Paulo Vicente. I'm Bonnie Page's architect. I'm here representing her application. This is a property that's currently under construction and has been previously approved. If I figure out how to share my screen, I will.
Hello?
Yeah, but. Hello.
Second. Sorry, I'm not well versed on this.
We missed our chance. They couldn't hear me.
Sorry, I'm not. I don't know how to share
There
this.
should be a button on the bottom that says share. Share content, and then you just have to
Oh, yeah,
locate
there
it
it
on
is.
your computer.
Oh. Fortunately, I think my computer is restricted from sharing, so I apologize. This is beyond
Okay,
me.
would you like me to share?
Yeah, if you could just share the package that we submitted, and just simple modification to the original approval that we would like to make. So this is a complete renovation of this existing house on Rosehill, one up from the corner of Post Road. We would like to change the original doors, front door, there's a front door, side door, and garage, sorry, front door, back door, and a garage door that was approved. So the front, that main portico, which was that single pane of glass with the lower panel. We feel like the single pane of glass is just too contemporary, and we'd like to divide that up more with the four light panel that's shown on the previous page. So yes, so that's the proposed change from that single large pane of glass to that four light panel in that front location. There's also a rear location on the next sheet. Back there, that back door, which you would not see from a public way. And then there's also one on a garage, which I think is the next sheet, which that little side entrance to the garage would have that same door. And then the next change we would like to request is change to the gate and the fence that divides exactly. So the original proposal is on top with that single gate and the smaller 4-inch wide picket board. Due to basically material availability, the 4-inch pickets is out quite a way, so we'd like to change to the wider 6-inch pickets and have a double gate there, so landscaping can access that, mowers and that sort of thing. And that gate falls on the side yard there, where kind of it says off that patio, so it's between the patio and the property line down on the northwest side of the property, that proposed fence along. Nope, sorry, down. Yep, down a little further, if you right there, where it says stone wall, and then it kind of takes off from the stone.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Alyssa, would you like to start?
I actually don't have any questions. Looks good.
Okay. Jim, any questions?
No.
No questions? George?
No question.
No
Thank you.
question. Thank you.
Okay. Darren? Questions?
No questions.
Art, questions?
None, Adam. Thank you.
Okay. Rosina, do you have any questions?
No questions, thanks.
And I do not have any questions either. Did not receive any letters in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters opposing this application, so the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Christopher Ryan, 164 Old Post Road in Fairfield, for property located at 164 Old Post Road in Fairfield. The application is to A, replace existing picket fence with 4-foot high 2x2 picket. B, replace existing gates with 4-foot high 2x2 picket. Chris, I think you are muted still.
Can you hear me now?
Kind of. Your audio is garbled.
Is this any better?
Much better, thank you.
Okay. AirPods never work. All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. So this is an application for the replacement of a existing fence. So this
Could you
is
just identify yourself for the record, please?
Yep, this Chris Ryan, homeowner, 164 Old Post Road in Fairfield.
Thank you.
This is a lot plan of my property. Here I've highlighted where the existing fence is and where the replacement fence was put in. So it's a section of about 50 feet here on the left side, and then gates in the front. And I have pictures to show this was the prior fence, 4 feet high. This is a picture of the front with the replacement gates. The fence was replaced because it was fully deteriorated and falling down. So with little kids in our house, we wanted to get a proper fence put back in place, and we worked with a local contractor, Anastasio Fencing. Here's a side view of the replacement fence, all posts in the same location, all same height, 2x2 pickets. Here's a close-up view of the fence, all cedar wood. Due to the fact that the old fence was a very old style, one that doesn't match, really, it's a Gothic picket. We were not, due to COVID, we were not able to get any of those materials. The next selection here to represent is we selected a style that is representative of all other styles on the Old Post Road, which is this 2x2 picket. In fact, these were all put in by the same contractor. So here's the 271, 215 Old Posts, 931, 323. This is 323 is exactly the same fence. So this is the replacement that we went with. So all the examples are here. So that's all I have for my presentation.
Okay, thank you. Art, do you want to start off?
Sure, Adam. No questions.
Thank you. George?
No questions. I guess I'm assuming the fence is installed.
Yes, the fence is installed.
Okay. All right. No questions.
Alyssa?
No questions.
Rosina?
No questions.
And Jim?
No questions. Thank you.
Darren?
One quick question. Could you scroll down? I think not that picture, the next picture where you see the front of your house. One more, please. Go down. One more. Thank you. So the posts on the fence, do they match the posts that are on your railing on your porch? They look very similar.
Yes, the posts they're exactly the same style.
Okay. That was my only question. Thank you so much.
Yep.
I don't have any questions. But thank you for coming in and submitting your application and taking care of this. Appreciate it.
Yep.
I did not receive any letters in favor of this application. I did not receive any letters opposed to the application. So the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Go back to the Kinder properties again. Apparently, the applicant was good. So I'll call it Properties LLC, 656 Harbor Road in Southport for property located at 656 Harbor Road in Southport for a new sign.
Adam, they're muted, and
I know.
think they can hear you.
Unfortunately,
Tell them to unmute.
I can't unmute. You have to request it.
Bill, can you
Can
hear
you
us?
hear me now?
Yes.
There he is. Yep.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I'm here because this is lettering to be placed above the front
Vicky,
door on the building.
Can you please just identify yourself for the records?
Yes. Yes, I'm Victoria Fingelli. I'm the agent for Kinder Properties.
Okay, thank you.
It's always out. Thank you. Thank you.
What we'd like to do is just place letters above the front door and just Higgins Group, Southport Harbor Private Brokerage. It would be at this size.
Okay. Would you like me to pull it up?
Can you pull it up?
Yes, sure. Hang on one second.
Thank you. That's it, and those would just be letters that would be placed on the board above the front door. And that's the
Okay.
extent of the signage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. We will start with Darren.
No questions.
Art, do you have any questions?
No, Adam.
Thank you. Rosina, questions?
No questions.
Any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay. George, questions?
Nice. It looks nice. No questions.
Okay. Jim, questions?
Public sign, no questions. Thank you.
Okay. Alyssa, questions?
No questions, thanks.
And I do not have any questions either. I did not receive any letters in favor of this application. Did not receive any letters opposing this application. So the hearing is closed.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is Christopher Wright and Jeannie Walker, 139 Main Street in Southport for property located at 139 Main Street in Southport for a new generator.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So basically, we're installing a generator. It will not be visible from Main Street. It will not be visible from Rosehill. It will not be visible from Cindy's French and Robin's.
Sorry, Could you just please identify yourself for the records?
Oh, sorry, Jeannie Walker, I thought I said. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anything, would you like to show your application, or
Yeah, you can show my
I can
application.
pull it up if you
Put in a bunch of pictures, just so you could see that it wouldn't be visible. There's a stone wall that actually covers it, and it's because it's so much higher, it completely covers it. But in addition to that, there's a lot of plantings already in place that have been there for years, and so they cover it too. And the same thing from Robin Schoen's house, there's plantings that cover it, as well as the stone wall.
Okay, what do I have on your application?
It's a small generator. It's not as big as the last one.
Okay. Rosina, questions?
No questions.
Or questions?
None for me.
Derek, questions?
No questions.
And George, questions?
No questions for me. Thank you.
Jim, questions?
No questions.
Alyssa?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you. And I don't have any questions either. I did not receive any letters in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters opposed to this application. So the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Preeti and Vikram Bhutani, 480 Old Post Road in Fairfield, for property located at 480 Old Post Road in Fairfield. To A, remove existing chain link fence and replace with cedar fence. B, remove existing chain link fence and replace with white picket fence.
Hi, Adam. Can you hear me? It's Bruce Eckerson.
Yes.
Here representing the Bhutanis, landscape architect. Let me share my screen. There we go. Okay, so I was engaged by the Bhutanis to try to help resolve some of the fencing issues that they have here. Along the eastern side property line, we are proposing to remove the existing chain link fence, which actually has already been removed, and replace approximately 138 feet of that chain link fence with a solid cedar fence, which you can see here on this right-hand picture. As we get to the front of the house, the solid board fence continues and transitions down approximately at the front of the house. And from that point, we are proposing to also remove the chain link fence, but remove the existing lower privacy board fence and replace that with a picket fence, which will match the existing picket fence that is along the old post road there. So that will return approximately 25 feet from the corner of the property line to approximately the front elevation of the house, or the front facade of the house. Adam had made me aware that some of the concern about this spot in particular was that there were three fencing types: the solid board, the picket fence, and also the old wrought iron that's on the neighbor's property. So by removing the section of lower cedar fence and replacing it with the wood picket fence, we're hoping to clean that corner up some and be more consistent with the style of the house. We are also, it's not part of this application, but there is an existing arbor between the garage and the house, and that will be removed.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
All right, I received a one letter. Well, I guess we'll get to that at the end. We'll start with Darren.
No questions.
Alyssa?
I'm sorry, did you say my name? I don't have any questions.
Yes. Thank you. Art?
None.
Jen?
I have a question. I drove past it a couple of days ago. The wrought iron, is any of the wrought iron fence on the owner's property?
That is
It
not.
certainly looks like it is.
It does.
I know that's not a part of this application. I don't want to distract from it. But none of the wrought iron fence is on this property. It's just on 458 Old Picture.
Yeah, we're not
Property
proposing to
east.
touch that wrought iron.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
We're not proposing to touch the wrought iron fence.
Right.
If that was
Just
your
out of
question.
just out of curiosity, is any of that on your property?
No, I do not believe so. The property line is right here on the corner. It's in from the driveway.
Okay. Okay, so okay, thank you very much. No other questions.
You're welcome.
Rosina?
My only question is, it seems that it's only the part that slopes down that's going to be removed. Is that correct?
Yes, it's the lower portion of that fence in front of the one piece that transitions from the higher fence. To the
Right
lower.
there. Okay. No questions.
And George?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay, I didn't have any questions. Did not receive any letters in favor of this application, but I did receive one letter in opposing this application. I'll read it. It's from Henry Backey. Dear Chairman Cliver and HCC Commissioners, I'm writing you in regards to the 480 Old Post Road application. The owners of the property submitted yet again an application to remove a chain link fence that has already been removed and to cedar board fence that has already been installed. The application shows a change in the current fence on the east property line. Currently, board fence runs the entire length of the east property line out to the Old Post Road and is clearable from the public way. Your commission rightfully denied your application to allow the fencing which was installed without approval by the commission. Historically, appropriate fencing for the term parsonage 1848 would not be cedar board fencing, but picket fencing of 1-inch square sticks around the homestead as stated in the agency handbook. The current application shows the board fencing to extend beyond the rear of the house or the Old Post Road until about 24 feet from the road, where there is a change in fence type to pickets. This is inappropriate for this historic home. It is also not in keeping with the established neighborhood fence style. I do understand the owner's desire for privacy around their pool. The cedar fence behind the house does accomplish this, and although not historically in keeping with the property, it does not detract significantly from the homestead. The board fence on the side of the house, however, is not appropriate for this period house. Incongruous to the neighborhood fencing and obstructs the east side of the dwelling. There is also a string of picket fence running at right angles to the board fence to the back of the house. Again, there are multiple fence types colliding with each other. It would be more appropriate to run the picket fence along the east property line from the street back to the other picket fence at the rear of the dwelling. If the commission were to approve the cedar fence in the rear property, this could start behind the house and the high fence that adjoins the rear of the house. The board fence should not exceed beyond the back of the house. There is still an arbor on the gate between the garage and the house that, to my knowledge, has not been approved. I would ask the commission to address this as well. Thank you for your time and service to our historic district. Sincerely, Henry Backey, MD, 388 Old Post Road, Fairfield, and the Old Post Road Area Association. So I guess I will go around the commission one more time in case there are further questions or comments they'd like to make, and I'll start with Alyssa.
Thanks. Now I do have a question.
Okay.
When I was looking at this this image, I thought that the existing white, excuse me, it says in the diagram in the lower right-hand corner, remove existing chain link fence and replace with white picket fence to match the fence along Old Post Road. And I thought, based on this, that the cedar fence was only going to start at the back of the residence. But from the letter that the neighbor submitted, it sounds like maybe my understanding is incorrect, or maybe his understanding is incorrect. Could you clarify that, please?
Yeah, so if you look at that diagram, there are two arrows, one that points to the front towards Old Post Road and one that points to the rear, and that's the point where that existing transition fence is from high to low. And that's where we were going to bring the white picket fence to that point, transition up to the 6 foot, and then leave the remaining cedar fence from that point to the back property corner.
Okay, so where it says existing white picket fence and gate to remain, is that isn't all white picket fence in there?
That just refers to the fence between the back corner of the house and the side property line fence, which is the cedar fence.
I see. Okay. So the proposal is from the horizontal line that is just over from the existing covered porch to make that cedar fence the whole way back.
Right. If you look at this, the middle image here, yeah, you can see we're taking it to that transition point.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Darren?
No questions. Thank you very much.
Did you say me or Jim?
I said Darren.
Oh, okay. So I just have, I'm a little bit confused over what's happening. So I understand what you just told Alyssa, and that clarifies a lot for me. So once this is done, there's going to be two different types of fencing going around this house. The picket fence in the front that also turns the corner on the east side, and the tall cedar fence in the back.
The white picket fence to match the front will turn the corner here and stop right here at the front of the house, extend it over.
Right.
Then there's a transition piece up of the cedar fence, which will remain, and then the tall cedar fence will remain from this part all the way to the back property corner. This piece of fence right now is a tall white picket fence with a gate.
Okay, and that matches the front as well.
It's a newer style. It's more your typical 2-inch square picket fence.
And then in the back of the property, there's the tall cedar fence again.
Correct. That runs basically around the back sides of the property.
Okay, and what type of fence runs down the western border?
I believe that is a privacy fence like this. I can't remember if it's white or if it's cedar.
Okay, but it's not a picket fence like the front.
It is not. The picket fence is really, I believe, this gate here, the fencing gate here, and the fencing gate here.
And then the one that runs along the roadside boundary.
Right, which is the whole historic fence, yeah.
Okay, thank you. That clarifies a lot for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Art?
No questions.
Thank you. George?
I just want a clarification. And on our rules from historic district, do we change our fence style at the front corner or the rear corner? Because in my past experience, it's always been the rear corner. And if it's the rear corner to the street, if it's the front corner to the street, then it's perfectly as appropriate as I've seen in the past. But Henry is reflecting something a little different. I don't know whether Henry's accurate or whether I'm wrong.
Is that a question, George? I mean,
well,
whether you're right.
I guess I don't have the guidelines in front of me. But is there a guideline on where the fence transitions, and has it been looked at by?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
There's nothing. I don't think there's anything in the. I don't think there's anything in our guidelines that talks about how fences should transition. It talks about what fences are appropriate.
Right.
You know,
right.
in certain properties, and in this case, it's you know, I think they put this board fence that, well, we can talk about this, you know, later. But
I have no
Rosanna, do you have any questions?
So following my original question of where did it stop, the picket fence, and it's in the transition, is there any reasoning why not it's not being extended all the way to the back of the building?
I think it's a privacy issue. There's a driveway right there on the other side of the fence.
But aren't there shrubs and greenery on that side as well?
Well, there's some, but not much. You can kind of see on the left-hand side of the picture here. It's pretty much unplanted or sparsely planted.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. And the letters have been read into the minutes, so the hearing's closed. Unless you have any comments, Bruce.
I don't have any comments. No.
Okay. And the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda, Brandon Konovitz, 225 Old South Road in Southport for property located at 225 Old South Road in Southport to A, remove portion of gravel driveway, and B, install asphalt in courtyard. You're muted, Christina.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Every time I do this, I can't tell which thing I need to unmute, so I'm sorry. I am Christina Gates. I'm the landscape architect representing Katie and Brandon Konovitz at 225 Old South Road. As Adam just outlined, we are back to make a revision to our previous application that was approved in March. We submitted in March, approved in April. I'm going to attempt a screen share here. Okay, let's see. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I'm getting good at this. All right. So this is our revised site plan, which most of you should be familiar with. In this area where my cursor is, we had proposed the expansion of gravel in these two corners to match the existing gravel driveway. Since the family has been out there this summer with their 4 kids, and they have that basketball hoop, which was approved months ago, maybe last year, the kids are falling, slipping, scratching, getting hurt on the gravel. And so they've asked us to come here today and request that we remove that gravel and put asphalt in its place. The gravel will remain in the front and in all the paths. It just would be in this interior courtyard area. And we also would keep the reclaimed granite paving, which we had approved in the previous application. The only change would be the asphalt. While we kind of understand that it's not quite as beautiful as the gravel, and they much prefer the gravel for their family at this time, the asphalt would be a better fit for them. Long term, they would like to come back when the kids are older and put the gravel back in, but for now, this is the request that they're making for the change of the surface in this area. I didn't submit any photos for this in my application, but I do have a couple photos of a gravel transitioning to asphalt. If you want me to show those, if you think that would be helpful, and I have them on my desktop and I can share it. Yeah?
Definitely.
Okay. Okay. All right, so the image on the left is gravel transitioning to a cobble apron to asphalt. So it would be a similar condition. The Conovits have a much brighter, a little bit brighter white gravel there. And I put this other image on the side just to kind of show you what those reclaimed granite pavers look like, just so you could kind of piece together what we had approved before. So this is the application, and be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, thanks. Virginia?
No question.
Okay. Art?
No questions.
Darren?
No questions.
George?
No questions, thank you.
Jim?
Will the asphalt be visible from the street, Karen?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I read through my notes so quickly. I neglected to point out that this whole area right here is a very mature hornbeam hedge. And then this darker patch in front of it is a 4-foot high boxwood hedge in front of the hornbeam. So a very small sliver from the road, you can peek through, but it's largely hidden, much more so than the other image that I showed. That's just a different property in Southport.
I thought that was the case. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Christine.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Alyssa?
That's actually what I was wondering, so we're all set. Thanks.
Great. And I do not have any questions. Did not receive any letters in favor of this application. I did not receive any letters opposing this application, so the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm
we're
going to
going to move on
stop
to
screen sharing now. Stop sharing.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Move into the executive session for consideration of the public hearings. And let's see. The alternate sequence funk do we have? Yes, we do. The alternate sequence is Bohan, Clark, Stack. So the first application, Jim Bohan, second application, Clark, third application is Alyssa, and so on. So keep in mind. Okay, the first item on the agenda to consider, Pierre and Ode Thurgu, 418 Harbor Road in Southport for property located at 418 Harbor Road in Southport. For A, new pool fencing with evergreen screening and a gate. B, generator with evergreen screening. And C, pool equipment with evergreen screening. Can I get a motion?
Adam, this is Art. I'll make a motion to approve those items as presented.
Okay. Second?
I'll second. Rosina.
Rosina seconds. Discussion? No discussion. Okay. Take a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Not opposed? No abstentions? The motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is Kinder Properties LLC, 656 Harbor Road in Southport, a property located at 656 Harbor Road in Southport for a new sign. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve as proposed.
Okay.
I'll second, Rosina.
Discussion? No discussion. The vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. Stand no abstentions. The motion passes unanimously. Third item on the agenda. And Alyssa is voting on this one. Body page 72 Rosehill Road in Southport for property located at 72 Rosehill Road in Southport for A, changes to previously approved doors. B, changes to previously approved fences. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve as presented, Adam.
I'll second that.
Second? Who's
I'll
second?
second that, Adam.
You're not voting on this application?
Okay,
Oh, so,
all right.
I'll second that. Alyssa.
okay, Alyssa seconds. Discussion? No discussion? Okay, favor? Okay. Opposed? Unopposed? No abstentions. The motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda, Christopher Ryan, 164 Old Post Road for property located at 64 Old Post Road in Fairfield to A, replace existing picket fence with 4-foot high 2x2 picket. B, replace existing fences with 4-foot high 2x2 picket. And can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve as presented, A and B.
I'll second.
Second?
I'll second.
Darren,
Darren.
Darren seconds. Discussion? Jim, you're voting on this application?
Thank you.
Okay, take a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Opposed? No abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda, Christopher Wright and Jeannie Walker, 139 Main Street in Southport for property located at 139 Main Street in Southport, and it's for a new generator. And
I'll make the motion to
Sure.
approve as presented.
And I'll second.
okay, Rosina, thank you. First is Rosina. Second, George Clark. Discussion?
I just had a quick question about this. Is it visible from the public way at all?
I don't know, you know, I mean, probably not, but we weren't asked to look at it. So they submitted the application. So we
I
have to,
drove
hear it.
by it. I drove by it and could not see any signs
Yeah,
where it would be visible.
Had they asked me to come and look at it, I would have looked at it, and they could have avoided the whole process. But you know, they didn't do that.
I mean, do we even have to
So-
vote on it if it's not visible from the public way?
I think we do have to vote on the application, just as a matter of, you know, principle. I don't think it matters either way, though. I mean, if we're approving it, you know.
I think it's always better to encourage people to propose things as opposed to going the other direction.
Yeah, or if it's not visible, they should come to me or the commission and just have it verified, and then we can sign off on it and say it's not visible, and you don't have to get a certificate of appropriateness and be done with it.
Yeah, I think.
And I believe I did ask them, and they didn't proceed down that route. So sorry, whatever, they, so they came to us and we decided it was appropriate.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take a vote on it. All in favor? All opposed? None opposed? No abstentions, so it passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is Preeti and Vikram Bhutani, 480 Old Post Road in Fairfield for property located at 480 Old Post in Fairfield to A, remove existing chain fence, replace with cedar fence, and B, remove existing chain link fence and replace with white picket fence. Alyssa, you are voting on this application. Motion?
I'll move to approve items A and B as presented.
Art motions to approve A and B as presented. Do we have a second?
Do we need to have a second in order to discuss? Is that the way it goes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, then I'll second so we can talk.
Okay. Discussion.
I have a question. I thought that we've seen this before, and the goal was to make sure that there are not 3 different kinds of fences at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So does this satisfy that requirement if it's a white picket fence and then a cedar fence that's raised in elevation and then another cedar fence? Or is that still considered 3 different kinds of fences?
No, I mean, originally the issue was that there were 3 different types of fences. We had a white picket fence in the front of the house existing, and a chain link fence that was existing, and then there's like a wrought iron fence also on the adjacent property. And those 3 fences coming together were the issue originally. What's happened with this property is that the original application, they came to have that board fence put in, but only in the back property line and the west property line, when you're looking at the property to the left. And to the right, there was a chain link fence, which, by the way, I didn't think was appropriate either. It was all rusted out chain link fence. But they were going to put something on it. They had some application they were going to do to that existing fence, and that's what they got approved. But instead, they decided to take it down and put this board fence all the way up to the road, right? And now they've come back several times, and they've been denied the application because it's just been so. I guess the applications weren't direct enough, or weren't focused on the issue at hand, which is the fact that they didn't get approval to take down the chain link fence, which is why they're back now, which they've already taken down. So they're coming after the fact to get approval to take that fence down, and then they're going to change the board fence in the front, the lower board fence, just so that transition is a little cleaner, which I think it makes sense, right, to have the picket fence sort of turn the corner and go back towards the house. But I forget, I think Rosina mentioned, like, why doesn't it go all the way back to where the gate is? And I feel like maybe it should. But at the same time, when you look at the house from the street, I don't think that board fence is actually that bad. I can see replacing the lower section with a picket fence, clean up that corner, make it look like it, goes with the property. The basic,
So
what's going on
can
there.
we back, because I wasn't on the commission when all of this was happening. So can you just succinctly tell me what was approved and before all this happened? So what was originally approved and has subsequently not happened? So the chain link fence was there and they were supposed to put screening up.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a high chain link fence in the back and then a chain link fence in the front. And they replaced that lower chain link fence with a board fence. That's
Okay.
O. Yeah, and
So
that's
they originally-
that's what hasn't been approved. They didn't get approval to remove the chain link fence or to put up that board fence on the east property line.
Okay, so
But
originally
everything
they
else
were
on the property is okay.
okay. So originally the chain link fence was there, so they were just supposed to screen it. And
Yes.
then instead of doing that, they took it out, replaced it, and that's where
Yeah.
the trouble started. Okay.
Yeah, and that's where we are.
So
the question
Just-
for us is appropriate or inappropriate that fence, that board fence, the way they have it now. Clearly, they're trying to cut it back so that the board fence doesn't go over to the street, which I think is a good start. But so that's what we need to discuss and determine what's appropriate.
Will it make sense if they extended that picket fence, since they are willing to put a picket fence all the way to the back where the other picket fence is? So that the cedar fence, it's only on the back side of the property, and for privacy, they can use vegetation, so that it's less of a conflict to have those two different types in the front side of the house.
So you're saying extend the picket fence back to where the other picket fence and gate is. So one of the things that the gentleman who was presenting said, Bruce, I think, was that the fence with the gate is yet a different type of picket fence. So
it's higher.
By extending, is it again going to cause a number of different fences all running into each other? And would that be incongruous once again to what is trying to be achieved? I don't remember I drove by the house and I took a look, but I can't remember off the top of my head what that fence looks like. So is the new fence that they're putting in matching the front, and will that be different to that gate and fence? Or is it a third type of white picket fence? And are we going to have 3 different fences and ostensibly 4 different fences, because then we'll still have the board fence?
The gate is going to be higher. The picket fence in the back with the gate is going to be higher because it's a pool compliant fence.
Okay.
It's a higher fence. Whether it's the pickets are identical or not, I don't know. I think Bruce said that it wasn't the same.
Yeah, that little gate that runs between the house and to the fence, I think he said was not the same.
It's also pretty far back there, and I think it's not that easy to see from the street. Because it's so far back, you can't really see the corner of the house.
I'm just trying to understand what's going on, because it's confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. It's unfortunate that they came to us after the fact.
I actually have a picture of the side of the house. If you guys want to see it, I can share it.
Yeah, sure.
If that's okay, that would be great. Okay, so then
when was this picture taken?
This picture was taken in one of the original meetings that we had. I can tell you in a second, but it's taken from the direction of South Benson towards Beach.
So basically, but the fence, I guess the reason why I ask is because the fence has weathered a lot more. Now it's darker and doesn't pop quite as much as this picture shows it.
So
right.
They're proposing to take out the 3 lower panels, leave the transition.
Yep.
And just pull the picket fence back to that transition panel.
Correct.
I understood the transition was being removed as well, no?
Maybe I misunderstood.
No.
I didn't think that was, because the arrows were just pointing to the lower section.
I think the transition stays.
Oh,
So the picket fence goes, from the corner and then back into that lower section of fence. And then it transitions up, which I think is probably not a bad way to handle that transition. I mean, personally, I don't think it's perfect, but I don't mind it. I think considering the circumstances, I think if you put the picket fence from the street back to that section, then it looks like it goes, it makes sense. And then that the board fence is sort of, it sort of goes away, in my opinion, when it's weathered. It doesn't pop out like it does in this picture. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that, Adam.
I know it's not going to make everyone happy, in terms of Henry Backey, he's not going to be happy about it, but I think from the street view, it presents well, to have the picket go back, and then the board fence is sort of more of a privacy fence, and it goes to the back of the property, and I don't think it's going to detract from the house, the historic nature of the house or anything like that.
And Rosina, do you know, this was taken from the neighbor's driveway? Is that where the vantage point is?
I took this photo from the sidewalk, kind of like almost from the street, but in the neighbor's property, yes. But
like on the neighbor's side, okay. Because it does look like, I mean, if this was from a while ago, it looks like there's some vegetation there. And when you look at it from the street view, from what was in the application, it looks like there is more dense vegetation there on the right. So I'm just wondering how much you would even see from the street view at this point.
I mean, the three fences are kind of visually distracting. I think that taking those lower panels out and putting in a picket fence is a better, will relieve some of that. And I think it is more in keeping with the historic nature.
Is the picket fence going to be the height of the front fence, or is it going to be the height of the post on the side fence?
It's supposed to blend in with the, I think that's the intention.
So that's where my concern is with the transition panel, because then you're going to have two different heights, actually three different heights, because you'll have the height of the Old Post Road, you'll have the height of the transition panel, and then you'll have the height of the higher fence. So in reality, if they really want privacy, I think it makes more sense to extend it all the way to the back, where they should have originally had that fence, because they had this transition at the beginning when they had, remember that the picket fence that's all the way in the back of the building, they had installed it in the front of the building. And that's why that transition was needed.
Yeah.
So it might make, in my opinion, it might make more sense to extend the low picket fence all the way to that back picket fence and use vegetation for screening, because it eliminates having 1, 2, 3 different ones on this side.
And that low picket fence will be the same height as the post road fence.
Exactly.
Okay. And it will match that post road fence. It's not going to be yet a different picket fence, right? I need to look at that.
I think that was the, I mean, we can stipulate that too, just to double check, make sure, but I think that was the intention of the application.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
So, yeah,
I agree
what
with
do you
Rosina.
do you think it's
So if I can make sure I'm understanding,
more?
Rosina, your suggestion is that we deny the application as is, and instead of saying that the white picket fence goes back to where the transition is, the white picket fence should go all the way back to where the existing white fence is to enter the backyard with the pool area. Okay.
I mean, we can amend the motion and stipulate that the picket fence extend all the way back to that corner. I don't want to have to deny the whole application and have them come back. I mean, they've been back a million times, and I think we can accomplish it by. And if they don't want to do it, then they'd have to come back and, then they can come back again. But if the commission feels strongly enough that this is. Go ahead.
Do we need to include the removal of the arbor in all of this, since it was mentioned that it will be removed? So that it's somewhere.
I don't think it's not part of the application.
Okay.
They said they were going to remove it. If they don't remove it, they'll be issued another violation. So.
Okay.
We'll just,
So Adam, why don't I withdraw my motion and let Rosina propose a new one if we're all in agreement.
Okay.
So I've withdrawn the motion.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rosina, with a proposed stipulation, if appropriate.
So let me see. It will be deny item A and approve item B with the stipulation that the white picket fence extends to the back of the house where the existing taller picket fence exists.
Just one point, the A, remove existing chain link fence and replace with cedar fence is referring to the whole fence on the eastern property line.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we have to approve that too, because they've already removed it and they've.
So ignore what I just said, and let's say approve A and B with the stipulation that the white picket fence to match the old post road picket fence extend to the back of the building where the taller picket fence exists.
Okay.
I'll second that.
For a second. Okay. Any more discussion? Okay, then we'll vote on it. All in favor? All deny, all opposed, none opposed, abstentions, no abstentions. So the motion passes unanimously. Last item on the agenda is Brandon Conovitz, 225 Old South Road, in Southport for property located at 225 Old South Road in Southport to A, remove a gravel driveway, and B, install asphalt courtyard.
Am I voting on this one, Adam?
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion on that one?
I'd make a motion to approve as submitted.
Okay. Second?
Art will second it.
Seconds in discussion? No discussion? Then we'll take the vote. All in favor? All opposed? Unopposed? Abstentions? No abstentions. So the motion passes unanimously. All right, and that concludes our public hearing items. Next on the agenda is to approve minutes from June 10th. I guess Art's the only one who wasn't here, and Rosina wasn't here either. Can I get a motion on
I'll make a motion to
approve the
approve
minutes?
those minutes.
Were these the last, was this the last meeting we had?
And June 10th?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
there, wasn't I?
Yeah, I think you came late or there was some connection issue.
No, it's me.
Oh, you,
No, I was here. I mean,
yeah,
I briefly lost
Were
my
you?
video, but I had my
That's what it
phone on,
was.
so
yeah.
Okay, apologize.
that's all right.
Okay. So then you can vote on it too. I'm looking to make a motion if you like.
Yeah, motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, and a
I'll
second?
second.
George seconds. Very good. Chairman's report, repairs, 661 Old Post Road, repair, replace rotted sections of picket fence in kind, replace rotted lower boards on red shed in kind. 249 Beach Road, repoint chimney and replace flashing in kind, and replace rotted shingles in kind. We have no violations this month, thank goodness. And old business discussion on handbook revisions. If we have any headway on the handbook, Darren or anyone?
Last time we said that we were going to discuss it. And I
Yep.
think Chris wanted to
We keep
make
pushing it
a
off.
separate. Sorry?
I know we keep pushing it off just because the agenda's been so packed the last few months. But
Can we
as
do
long
a
as we keep
subcommittee
thinking about
meeting
it.
or something?
Do what?
A subcommittee meeting where like that's what's on our
Definitely.
agenda and that's what we do. Because then we're not
Yeah,
going to be dragging this on for like 3 hours.
Yeah. That may be something we can do in person too. I mean, I think, I don't know if we need to, I don't know if it needs to be noticed or not, a
It
work
does.
session.
It does.
Okay, yeah. So if you let me know when you want to do it, I can notice it and we can set it up and we can get, I think we can get together at like Old Town Hall or something. I'll have to check on that, but if not, we can do it. We can always do it via WebEx.
The easiest thing maybe to do is send out a doodle poll with a couple of dates and see how many of us are free on any given day. I'm usually pretty flexible. So, I mean, I can set that up if you want and send you the link and you can blast it out to everyone.
That'd be great.
Okay.
I know there are quite a few like little issues in the handbook that would be nice to resolve.
Yeah, and then I personally think there's a couple of like larger ones that need to be resolved,
sure.
not only just for us, but also for homeowners that will just make the process a lot easier, I think.
Okay. Great. Anyone else have no new business? Does anyone else have any new business they'd like to bring up or discuss? I'll take that as a no. All right. We just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Who is that, Darren?
Yeah, that was me.
Darren makes a motion to adjourn. And who
You
seconds? George? George.
Good third.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right. Motion passed unanimously. We are adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you very much. Good meeting. Thank you.